Lately, your person has been sensing a shift in your energy, and it's starting to make them deeply uneasy. There's a growing awareness that you are moving forward with your life, and the more they feel this, the more anxious they become. It's as though every step you take in your own direction creates a distance they never anticipated, and that realization is beginning to consume them. They're no longer able to ignore the space that's formed between you, and it's stirring up emotions they thought they had under control. Their mind has become fixated on you, on where you are, what you're doing, and especially who you're with. The thought of someone else stepping into the space they once occupied is unbearable. It's not just curiosity, it's a burning need to know. They're constantly checking, watching, wondering, hoping to see signs that there's still a place for them in your world. That kind of longing doesn't go away easily. In fact, it's only growing stronger. They are now willing to do almost anything to bridge that gap, anything to reconnect, to reclaim what feels like it's slipping through their fingers. No matter how hard they try to focus on other things, you continue to show up in their life. They see reminders of you everywhere, songs, numbers, dreams, conversations, and unexpected encounters. It's as if the universe keeps pulling them back to you, refusing to let them forget the connection that once burned so brightly. These signs feel almost supernatural at times, and they've started to believe that what exists between you might be something far deeper than they were prepared to admit. While they're spiraling in uncertainty and longing, you seem to be thriving. They can feel your energy shifting, lighter, freer, more empowered. There's a radiance about you now that wasn't there before, and while they're proud of your growth, it also stings. Because with that growth comes the fear that you may no longer need them, that perhaps you've outgrown what you once shared. And that possibility terrifies them more than they can put into words. Behind closed doors, they're giving themselves pep talks. They're rehearsing what they'll say if they gather the courage to reach out. The idea of a new beginning with you is not just lingering, it's dominating their thoughts. They envision what it might be like to start fresh, to rebuild the trust, to heal the wounds, and to rediscover each other on new terms. But there's a hesitation, too. Fear. What if the door is already closed? What if they're too late? Their longing for you is no longer something they can suppress. It's reached the point where missing you is almost physical, it hurts. There's an ache in their chest every time they think about the way things used to be, the way you smiled at them, the way your energy made them feel whole. This pain, this emptiness, has become a constant companion. And what's more, you might be feeling it too, those subtle waves of sadness that seem to come out of nowhere, the dreams that leave you wondering why they felt so real. There's a soul-level connection between you, and they're clinging to the hope that it's not one-sided. They've become more observant than ever. Quietly, almost obsessively, they watch you from afar. Social media, mutual connections, memories, anything that brings them closer to your current world. They're not doing it to invade your space but because they can't help themselves. The distance is agonizing. Being apart from you is not the peaceful break they imagined, it's a constant reminder of everything that's missing in their life. Their current reality is starting to feel hollow. The routines, the people, even the distractions that once brought comfort now feel meaningless. They're going through the motions, but their heart isn't in it. Nothing truly satisfies them anymore because the person they genuinely want to share their world with is no longer within reach. This dissatisfaction is pushing them toward a crossroads. They know they can't keep pretending they're fine. They know something has to change, and that change begins with facing the truth of how they feel about you. Despite the pain, despite the confusion, they haven't let go of hope. If anything, their desire to reconnect with you has only grown stronger. They're being pushed, by memories, by signs, by the aching pull of your shared energy, to take action. Whether they'll finally break the silence and reach out remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, you haven't left their heart. Not even close. And no matter how far apart you seem on the surface, in their soul, you're still right there. Can we give it another try? I keep asking myself this question, over and over again, hoping that somehow the answer might change, that somehow, you might still feel the same way I do. I really wonder if you still think about me the way I constantly think about you. It's not something I can control, your name echoes in my thoughts no matter what I'm doing. There are moments when I catch myself smiling at a memory, a conversation, a glance we once shared, and then the weight of your absence quickly brings me back down. I can't help but wonder if I ever cross your mind the same way, if you still feel that lingering pull in your heart when you think of us. Looking back, I regret not being honest with you about my feelings. I truly do. I regret lying, not out of malice, but out of fear of being too vulnerable, fear of scaring you away, fear that maybe I wanted more than you were ready to give. But the truth is, I was drawn to you from the very beginning. From the first moment we connected, something within me shifted, and I knew that my heart would never fully belong to anyone else. Even then, I could feel it, this strange, undeniable pull that said, this is the person who could change everything. I tried to fight it, I tried to hide it, but it was always there. Every glance, every laugh, every moment we shared, it only made that feeling stronger. I keep replaying our conversations in my head. It's like my mind won't let them go. I go over every word, every silence, every moment I wish I could do over. There's a part of me that clings to those memories, not just because they were beautiful, but because they remind me of how real it all was. You don't forget something like that. I can't get enough of those moments because they're all I have left of us, and they make me feel close to you, even when you're miles away. We both know how much this distance is hurting us. It's not just physical space, it's emotional too. It's the silence that follows when I want to reach out but hold myself back. It's the ache that lingers when I scroll through my phone hoping for a message from you. It's the emptiness of not knowing if we'll ever find our way back to each other. And despite all of that, all the confusion and pain, I still want to please you. I still want to make you happy in ways no one else can. That desire has never gone away. I've never experienced a connection so intense, so magnetic. Our chemistry was something beyond explanation, it felt natural, effortless, like two souls recognizing each other after a long time apart. And because of that, being away from you has been unbearable. I don't want this distance. I don't want a life where I can't reach for your hand or hear your voice when I need comfort. I miss you more than words could ever express. I miss everything about you, even the things that once frustrated me. That's how I know this isn't just fleeting emotion. It's something deeper, something that has taken root in the very core of who I am. From the outside, it may seem like I'm fine. You might think I'm out there living my best life, surrounded by people, laughter, and distractions. Maybe it looks like I've moved on. But none of that is real, not the way my heart feels. Because the truth is, I feel lost without you. There's a sadness I carry with me every day, one that no one else seems to notice. I've become good at hiding it, at pretending everything's okay, but the moment I'm alone, it all comes crashing down again. My heart knows the truth, even if I don't always show it. I was scared, terrified, actually, that you didn't love me the way I loved you. That fear made me bottle up my emotions, hold back when all I wanted to do was pour my heart out to you. I was so convinced that I'd scare you away if I revealed how deeply I felt. But now I see that I was wrong. You loved me, maybe even more than I loved you. You showed it in quiet ways, in moments I didn't fully understand at the time. And now that I've had time to reflect, I realize how deeply you cared, how much you gave of yourself, even when I didn't recognize it. If I could go back, I would do things differently. I would have told you the truth sooner. I would have been braver. I would have fought harder for us. But all I can do now is speak honestly and hope that maybe, just maybe, we can find our way back. I know time has passed. I know things may not be the same. But the love I have for you hasn't faded. It's still here, quiet, steady, and waiting for you. If there's even the smallest chance you feel the same, then I believe it's worth trying again. Let's not let fear or pride keep us apart. We owe it to ourselves to see what could be, to give love another chance. It wasn't that you weren't enough for me. In fact, you were everything I didn't even realize I needed. The truth is, I never once doubted your worth, I doubted my own. I carried this quiet fear that I wasn't enough for you. Not in the way you deserved. You see, being with you forced me to confront parts of myself I had long buried. You held up a mirror I wasn't ready to look into. And while others may have made me feel more comfortable or more in control, they never challenged me the way you did. With them, it was easier to pretend, easier to ignore my insecurities, because they didn't expect as much of me. They didn't see me, not really. But you did. You always knew me better than I knew myself. You understood my silence, you caught the subtle shifts in my energy, and you read between the lines when I couldn't find the words. You had this way of reaching the deepest, most guarded parts of me, the ones I kept hidden from the world out of fear and shame. And instead of turning away, you embraced them. You made me feel seen in a way that was both beautiful and terrifying. I've never known another woman like you. You are strong in the way that truly matters, not loud or domineering, but grounded, unwavering, and deeply aware of your own value. You don't just demand respect, you live in a way that commands it. Watching you set boundaries, speak your truth, and remain loyal to your principles taught me what real strength looks like. And even though you might think those boundaries pushed me away, they didn't. In fact, that strength was one of the very things that drew me closer to you. It shook me, yes, because I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to someone knowing their worth so clearly, and insisting that I rise to meet them, rather than shrinking to fit me. And I failed at that. I failed at meeting you where you stood, not because I didn't want to, but because I didn't believe I could. I let my self-doubt speak louder than your love. I let fear dictate my actions, and I told myself stories that made it easier to run than to face my own shortcomings. I confused your standards with rejection, when in reality, they were an invitation for me to grow, to evolve, to become better. But I wasn't ready then. I see that now. No one compares to you. I don't say that lightly, and I'm not just romanticizing the past. I mean it in the most sincere, grounded way. Everyone in my life knows this now, even the ones who never met you but saw how I changed when I was with you. They saw the light in me that only you seemed to bring out. I've tried to move on, tried to find that connection elsewhere, but it's impossible. You weren't just special, you were right. For me. And now, having seen what real connection feels like, I can't unsee it. I can't settle for less. I'm no longer hiding how I feel about you. Not from myself, not from others. I used to act like I was fine, like I had moved on, like what we had was just a chapter in my story. But the truth is, it was the chapter. The one that changed everything. The one that made all the others pale in comparison. And I've come to realize that pretending I didn't care, or that I could replace you, was not only dishonest, but deeply unfair to you and to myself. I don't know where we go from here. I'm not writing this expecting anything from you. I know I've hurt you. I know my silence and distance caused pain that words alone can't erase. But I needed to tell you this. I needed you to know that you were never the problem. You were never too much. You were exactly what I needed, and still need, in a world that often rewards people for playing small. I'm working on becoming the kind of man who no longer runs from what's real. The kind who doesn't let fear dictate his choices. The kind who can stand next to someone like you and not feel threatened, but honored. Maybe it's too late. Maybe the damage can't be undone. But even if that's true, I want you to know that you mattered. You changed me. And I'll never forget the way you made me feel, challenged, cherished, and completely seen. No one compares to you. And now, finally, I'm not hiding that from anyone, including myself.